Today on Judge Faith, New Yorkers discover the hard way that they can't coexist peacefully in their Queens apartment building.
Night after night, there were scantily dressed women coming in at all hours of the night, drunk, and waking us up at all hours.
Her conversation is, anybody enter this apartment, you bring people here to sleep, you gotta pay more rent.
You told him that if he called the police, you would tell the police that he threatened to kill you?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Tammy Paulino says the defendant was a terrible tenant and he demolished her apartment. She's suing for apartment damages and related fees. She's accompanied in court today by Ronald Darden. Defendant Tristan Richards says he doesn't know because Tammy's bad attitude made living in the apartment building a nightmare. He's countersuing for a security deposit and harassment. He's accompanied in court today by Steve Cotright.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Paulino versus Richards.
Thank you, Juan. Mr. Richards.
Yes.
Is there any particular reason you're wearing sunglasses in court today?
Yeah, I had an eye operation on my
You had an operation on your eye?
Yeah.
Okay, so for that reason, I'll allow it. But otherwise,
Thank you.
You wouldn't wear those in court, right?
No, thank you.
All right. Tammy Paulino.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Tristan Richards, for $5,614 for damages you say he caused to your apartment and related fees. You are countersuing, sir, for $4,000 for a security deposit and harassment, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and you each brought witnesses with you today?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start with you, Ms. Paulino. Tell me what happened.
Mr. Richards came with a realtor to see the apartment.
And this is in Queens?
This is in Queens, New York. I have a 3-family house. I live on the first floor. The second floor has 2 apartments. He came, he looked at the apartment. He said he loved it. He wanted to rent it. He wanted to switch out the carpet in the living room and the bedroom and put in ceramic tile if I gave him one month free and $50 discount every month. I agreed to that. The day that we signed the lease, which was 2 days later.
Is that in the lease? Is that arrangement in the lease?
It's not in the lease, but I have a signed paper from the realtor that he was witness to it, and that's the way it went down.
So when he moved out after a year, was there ceramic tile on the floor or carpet?
No, there was no
carpet?
ceramic tile. There was the same carpet.
So the carpet was never removed?
The carpet was never removed.
And the agreement was that you would deduct how much, $50 a month?
$50 a month, and I would give him the month of May to do the work.
Okay, so that's the first issue. Tell me what else happened.
The day that he came to sign the lease, he dropped a bombshell on me saying that he had a dog. After consideration, I said to him, if you pay a half a month security for the pet, and since you are putting down ceramic tile, I would allow it.
Okay, how much security deposit did he pay you?
$650.
And how much for the dog?
$650 for the dog.
Okay, and the security deposit for the dog, was that non-refundable?
It was refundable if there was no damage.
Okay, so $1,300 and $650. May I see the lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, when you moved in, did you agree to remove the carpet and put tile down? So you never came to that agreement?
No, I never came to that agreement. Why do I
find that hard to believe?
Why would you find it hard to believe? Why would I take off $50 for a year? That's $600. Why would we furnish a whole apartment that will cost me over $4,000 to take off $50?
So she's making the part up about the carpet and ceramic tile?
The carpet,
never
what
had
I
that
told
conversation.
her, this is what I told her with the carpet, because at my old apartment, I had boxes of tiles. I told her, I have boxes of tiles. I'm going to see if I find some workers, and I might, do you have a problem if I replace the carpet with the tiles? That's what I told her.
Okay, so there was a conversation about
it, but I didn't have an agreement to do it.
So you're telling me that there was no agreement, and how much were you paying in rent, sir? How much were you paying in rent?
My rent is $1,300.
You move in, and what are the issues you have, ma'am, with Mr. Richards at your home?
He told me that he was a party promoter. He's not okay? Constantly, night after night, there were scantily dressed women coming in at all hours of the night.
Sounds like a party promoter to me.
Drunk and disorderly and waking us up at all hours.
He told you he was a party promoter. What do you think they do? They get a bunch of girls and they take them to the clubs to party. His house is where the after party is. So what do you think he lied to you about when he said he was a party promoter and then you see people partying? Did she have a conversation with you about the noise?
No noise.
Okay.
See, that's her conversation is, anybody enter this apartment, you bring people here to sleep, you gotta pay more rent. That was her conversation.
Coming up, the living situation in the apartment building goes from bad to worse.
She went upstairs, knocked my door, said, "Is Tristan home?" The girl said, "No, he's not home." She took the keys from her and kicked her out of the house.
Hi, I'm Judge Faith. Follow me on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Plaintiff Tammy Paulino says Tristan caused her nothing but problems. She's suing for apartment damages and related fees. Defendant Tristan Richards says he doesn't know because living in the apartment building was a nightmare. He's countersuing for a security deposit and harassment.
Did you want to supervise who he brought home to the apartment?
She would tell my cousin, he stood there for 2 days. She said, "He's here for 2 days, you gotta pay me extra rent. Cause he's taking a shower, you gotta pay extra water."
Yes.
Did she tell you that?
That's
Step
true.
up, sir. Did you have a conversation with her about that?
Yes. One early morning, I went to move my car at 8 o'clock in the morning, and he gave me the keys to go outside. So she storms
While I'm
out,
upstairs.
follows me, and starts screaming in the middle of the street. I don't even know this lady.
Like, why criminals is in my apartment? You have criminal cousins in my apartment?
Yeah, I don't want nobody with my key. You're gonna have to pay extra water and heat to stay there. I said, I'm visiting from Florida. You know, this is my cousin's apartment. I can stay there if I want. And she was like, "No, give me extra water and extra heat.
Extra water.
And I don't want nobody with my keys." So I just went upstairs and I told him that.
The crazy part is about it.
Is that true? Did you tell him that?
Yes, I told him he does not live here. He's not on the lease.
So wait a minute.
He's not supposed to have the keys.
Does the lease state he cannot give the keys to anyone else? He has to be the sole occupier of the keys. Of course it doesn't state that. That's not what people agree to when they move into apartments.
Yes.
And that's just the beginning. Second of all, I will have a girl in my apartment. Like, if I have someone stay over by me, I have to go to work. So I leave at night, I will leave the girl upstairs. She went upstairs, knocked my door, said, "Is Tristan home?" The girl said, "No, he's not home." She took the keys from her and kicked her out of the house.
Out the house. Yep.
Listen, issues on both sides here, okay? Clearly there's an agreement that you would change the carpet and put in tile. Clearly you're micromanaging. But let's talk about the video you submitted. Thank you. You can have a seat now.
It shows about the drunken women coming in and out of the house. It shows Mr. Richards, Tristan, in his towel, wandering in and out throughout the public area with the towel.
Let me see the video.
Throughout the public area with my towel.
This is two drunken women. As you can see, they're falling.
She fall over the cover.
Brought in by him and some other person. This is on Christmas morning, by the way. This is him in a towel, constantly. This is his witness using the keys.
To move his car.
This is him going out, coming back in from the porch with a towel on. This is him with a stripper moving her in.
That's a stripper. That's my friend came to visit me.
Guys.
Oh, that's a stripper. You know that's a stripper?
Mr. Richards.
This is constant. This was constant.
That's me coming off from the airport, picking up one of my friends that came to my house. How that's a stripper?
Miss Paulino says she's wearing a tight dress. She has to be a stripper. That's it.
How she had to be a stripper? That's crazy. Did she tell you she threatened me?
How did she threaten you, sir?
The day I returned for my keys, I told her, "Can you give me my keys?" Could I call you, told you? That's the day she kicked the girl out of the apartment. I said, "Can I get my keys?" I have it on recording. "Can I get my keys?" She was like, "No, you got to get out of my apartment, pack your things, leave." I said, "I have 3 months left in my lease. I need my keys." She was like, "No, call the police." I'm like, "I don't want to waste time calling the police to go back and forth with you in court. All I need is my keys." She was like, "You know what? You call the police, I'm going to tell the police you threatened to kill me. Me as a white lady and you as a black man, who would they believe?" That's exactly her words. I have it on recording. It's right there.
You have that on the recording?
Yep, you can see the recording right there.
Let me look at the recording.
You bring strippers here!
Who brings strippers here?
You, I got no know what? You can speak to your hookers, your whores, anytime you want. But I am older than your mother. You speak to me with respect to me. I don't want those criminals in my house. I don't want you leaving nobody in my house when you go to work. You left your husband who's a criminal.
She said you're a criminal.
She went to my window and started through my window. I have him on tape.
I have the part stating that she says that I'm going to tell the police. If you call the police, I'm going to tell the police.
I want to hear that.
You threatened to kill me.
Pull that up.
She was like, you call the police.
Well, let me ask you, before he pulls it up, did you tell him that if he called the police, you were going to tell the police that he threatened to kill you, and because you're white and he's black, they would arrest him?
I never said anything about white or black.
I have it right here.
Okay, but you told him that if he called the police, you would tell the police that he threatened to kill you?
I may have done that in the heat of the moment, yes, Your Honor.
But he did not threaten to kill you, right?
He didn't, but his cousin did.
Oh, how you
His
did?
cousin?
Not this gentleman here, his other
what-
cousin.
Okay,
from
but that's not him. You said if he called the police, you would tell the police that he threatened to kill you, but that's not accurate, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I can listen to this, but she just made that admission in court.
Coming up on Judge Faith, details emerge that puts prior testimony in question.
I tried to talk to this young man several times. Please, brother, find yourself a way to get back within the rules of the lease.
Plaintiff Tammy Paulino says Tristan refused to follow the building rules. She's suing for apartment damages and related fees. Defendant Tristan Richards says he doesn't know because he had no other option but to get out fast.
So it was not a good fit.
Not at
The
all.
two of you living in the same household, it was
Not
not a
at
good
all.
fit, right? You're party promoter.
The guys before, you could even ask her hubby over there. He told me the guy before had the same problem with her. That she, AKA, claimed as the maintenance guy. AKA maintenance guy. He maintenance something else.
Okay, did you tell him that the guy before they lived there had the same
Had
issue
the
with
same
her?
problem.
She and I run a company called Books for Beats, www.booksforbeats.com. We educate inner city children. She has done more for the black community than this black dude ever has or ever will. Now, I tried to talk to this young man several times. As you see today, it's a very hard time to go with him. I told him that the tenants before him thought that they could not be evicted, although they were violating the rules of the lease. Please, brother, find yourself a way to get back within the rules of the lease. That's the only conversation I ever had with this young man, point blank, period, end of story. So all that other stuff, which I kind of knew he was going to come in here and try to do that, just goes to show you the character that we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about no comic strip one either. So, you know, that's what we're dealing with.
Now, sir, did you have an opportunity after the defendant moved out to inspect the apartment that he lived in?
Yes.
And did you see damages in that apartment?
Yes.
What did you see?
I saw that the carpet had been damaged.
How?
It seemed like there was a lot of urine stains all over the floor from the dog. The bathroom, part of the sink actually was dislodged from the wall. We also talking paint on cabinets. The walls weren't properly done because he tried to put caulking inside the wall. And any, I don't want to say real man, no disrespect, but any man that knows what he's doing with tools would actually know that you don't put caulk inside of a drywall. So at that point, when I went back in, I saw caulking in the drywall in two separate rooms, holes left over the place. And he had this big vibrating massage chair, which as a single guy, I didn't understand what he needed to be massaged for. Like it was like a big, yeah, it was, you know, it wasn't a massage chair?
Yeah, it's a massage
Hey,
chair.
Mr. Richards, sit down.
He had this big, he left this big
Sit
massage
down.
chair that had to be removed from the facility as well. So
Because he left it
behind
there?
garbage. No, just after he left.
Okay, he left those
behind
things
garbage.
behind.
He left those things behind that had to be removed. So I recommended to Ms. Paulino, because that's above my level of contracting, because I don't do that type of stuff, that she go get contractors, and that's what she did. She went and got contractors who did the job professionally, because I don't do that level of work based on the damage that was there.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your testimony, Mr.
No problem.
Darden. Let me see proof that you paid over $2,000 in damages. And you kept his security deposit?
Yes.
Which was $1,300, and the pet deposit, which was $650?
Yes.
Did you subtract that from the $2,000?
Haven't subtracted anything yet.
Okay, so you kept that and you're suing? for the full amount of damages? When you keep a security deposit, that goes towards damages.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor, but he also kept the keys until the 20th of June.
I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm just asking you. You're suing for all these things, but you didn't deduct the money you kept for the security deposit, which is almost $2,000. So Ridgewood Contracting gave you this?
Yes. That was
this
one
estimate?
of three.
Did you pay this? It says paid in full.
Yes.
So you paid $2,050 to have this repaired.
Yes.
Ridgewood Contracting did this.
Yes.
And they created this document and gave it to you.
Yes. That was the estimate. That was one of three
estimates. How did you pay them?
Cash.
You paid them in cash?
Yes.
Did you get a receipt?
That was it. That was the receipt.
This is the receipt. So this is from them?
Yes.
Okay. They don't know how to spell their own company name? It's misspelled.
What are you talking about?
Ridgewood. Wood is spelled W-W-O-D.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Now this is a real receipt for the carpet. Okay. Why were you late turning in the keys, sir?
She told me within 3 weeks on the 20th, come back for your security deposit and it will be returned to you. I hold the keys because I told her, okay, you have a spare key, you're the landlord.
Okay, you don't get to do that. You don't get to hold the key. When you move out and you return the key. She has 3 weeks by law. It's not this, you give the keys, you get the security deposit, because she has to have the opportunity to inspect the premises. So for every day you kept the key until the 22nd, guess what? You have ownership of that apartment. You left stuff behind. She had to clean that out. That's damages. Here's what we're going to do. The defendant gave a $1,950 total security deposit for himself and the dog, $1,950. I find that he owes $922, the holdover amount in rent that he owes for keeping your keys beyond, for 22 days beyond the date that he was supposed to move out. That's $922. I also find that the receipt for carpet repairs, I find that to be a legitimate receipt in the amount of $725. $922, $750 for the carpet. I'm not ordering $1,950 for failure to replace the ceramic, the carpet with ceramic tile, because you don't have sufficient proof that that was an agreement that was in place. There was certainly a discussion about it, but I don't know what the exact agreement was, and I'm not going to try to figure it out. If you want to have that kind of agreement where you give someone a discount on the rent, it must be included in the lease. In addition, I'm going to order the defendant to pay $500 in additional cleanup and related fees based on Mr. Darden's testimony, who I find to be the most truthful person out of everyone in court here today. So that is a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor, $2,142. However, you kept a $1,950 security deposit. So that's a total judgment in your favor, $192. Your counterclaim for your security deposit is dismissed. Your counterclaim for harassment is dismissed. Judgment in the plaintiff's favor in this case in the amount of $192.
I don't think I'm going to be renting to very young people.
Check the background. Check the background, because like as her hubby or whoever says, the recent tenants before me went through the same problem, so.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.